Welcome to the 28th Annual Conference of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. Ceremonial procession will be coming now. Please rise for the arrival of ceremonial procession. Please keep standing for the national anthem. Thank you. Next in the agenda is the lighting of the oil lamp. I would like to invite our chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamavansa, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, the guest of honor, Dr. Vasanthi Pinto, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya, the President of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Dr. Tilani Ratnayaka, the Founder President of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Dr. Lushan Jayasuriya, the past President of the College, Dr. Yanti Abevikrama, the Regional Chairman, IUSTI Asia Pacific, Professor Kaushal Varma, the Director, National STD AIDS Control Program, Dr. Janaki Vidanapatirana, the Vice President of the College, Dr. Nalaka Abegunasekara, the President-elect of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Dr. Priyantha Veerasinghe, the immediate past President of the College, Dr. Geethani Samaravira, the Secretary of the College, Dr. Duleepa Veerasiri, the Treasurer of the College, Dr. Sharmila Rajapaksha, the Editor-in-Chief of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Dr. Ajit Karavita, and representing the overseas faculty, Professor Graham P. Taylor. Thank you. Please take a seat. Now, I would like to invite Professor M.D. Lamavansa, the chief guest, Dr. Vasanthi Pinto, the guest of honor, Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, the president of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Professor Kaushal Varma, regional chairman, IUSTI Asia Pacific, and Dr. Duleepa Veerasiri, the secretary, to grace their presence at the head table. Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, the President, Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, will welcome you all and introduce our distinguished guest of honor.
Good evening. Chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamavansa, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Guest of honor, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya. Our special invited guest, Professor Kaushal Varma, Regional Chair of International Union Against Sexually Transmitted Infections, Asia Pacific. Distinguished invitees representing the overseas faculty, Dr. Lushan Jayasurya, Founder President, Dr. Iyanthi Abe Vikrama, Founder Secretary, past presidents, fellows of the college, members of the Council of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, members of the college, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure and privilege to stand here as the President of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine and extend a warm welcome to all of you for the inaugural ceremony of the 28th Annual Scientific Sessions. I'm deeply honored to welcome our chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamavansa, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Sir, your presence here is a great source of encouragement to us. I warmly welcome our guest of honor, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, the Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya, and Professor of Anesthesiology. Thank you, Madam, for accepting our invitation to grace this occasion. We are particularly excited about the collaboration with the esteemed International Union Against Sexually Transmitted Infection, Asia Pacific, to mark the 28th edition of our annual conference here at Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. The membership of IUSTI comprises world-renowned experts in the field of sexual health and HIV, and we are truly honored to have them by our side. I extend a heartfelt welcome to Professor Kaushal Varma, the Regional Chair of the IUSTI Asia Pacific, and the entire team of experts hailing from different countries within the region, including India, Australia, China, South Korea. The collaboration is a privilege and encouragement to us in advancing knowledge in HIV and sexual health. Thank you for being with us. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to the officials from the Ministry of Health and Dr. Arnold, Deputy Director of Public Health Services. I would like to welcome Dr. Janaki Vidhana Patirana, Director, National STD AIDS Control Program, in this special occasion. I would also like to welcome Dr. Vinya Aryaratne, President, Sri Lanka Medical Association. It's with great honor I welcome Mrs. Renuka Jayasundara, Deputy Inspector General, Child and Women's Bureau of Sri Lanka Police, and Mr. Gunasekara, Deputy Director School Health of Ministry of Education. And I would like to welcome representatives from UNICEF and UNFPA for this great occasion. I cordially welcome our distinguished invited speakers of the overseas faculty, Professor Graham Taylor, Honorary Consultant and Lead Clinician at St. Mary's Hospital, Imperial College London. Sir, today you are representing our overseas faculty for the 20th time, and your presence is great inspiration. Dr. Dawn Wilkinson, Consultant GU Physician at St. Mary's Hospital, Imperial College, and our colleague, Dr. Mahesh Ratnayaka, Senior Consultant in Sexual Health from Royal Adelaide Hospital. I extend a warm welcome to all the past presidents of the college, fellows of the college, members of the council, and members of the college. I welcome all the other distinguished invitees, including my colleagues, friends, and family members. It's a great encouragement to have you all here at the inaugural ceremony of the 28th Annual Conference of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine in collaboration with IUSTI Asia Pacific to join hands to concentrate on safeguarding vulnerable within the sexual health. Thank you.
Now I invite Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, the President of the College, to introduce our distinguished guest of honor.
Okay. Professor Vasanthi Pinto is a highly accomplished medical professional with an impressive background in anesthesiology and critical care. She holds an MBBS degree from the University of Peradeniya, and she earned an MD in anesthesiology from the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine at the University of Colombo. Additionally, she has obtained prestigious fellowship, including FRCA from the Royal College of Anaesthetics in the UK and FCARC-SI from the Royal College of Anaesthetics in Ireland. In her current role, Professor Pinto serves as the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at University of Peradeniya, where she holds the position of Chair Professor of Anesthesiology and Critical Care within the Department of Anesthesiology and Critical Care. Furthermore, she works as a consultant anesthetic and intensivist at the teaching hospital in Peradeniya, where she brings her extensive expertise to patient care. Professor Pinto has made significant contribution to medical education. She has served as an examiner in various postgraduate examinations and has chaired boards related to emergency medicine and anesthesia. Her dedication to advancing medical knowledge is reflecting in her extensive research portfolio, comprising over 80 publications and numerous presentations at national and international conferences. Her work has earned her numerous awards and orations, including the prestigious S.C. Paul oration from the Sri Lanka Medical Association and the B.S. Pereira oration from the College of Anesthesiologists and Intensivists of Sri Lanka. Beyond her academic and clinical roles, Professor Pinto is deeply committed to enhancing national health care. She initiated and led critical care training programs in collaboration with Ministry of Health and various professional bodies benefiting healthcare and professionals across Sri Lanka. She was also a key team member involving in managing COVID-19 in Sri Lanka, where her responsibility included organizing training programs and contributing to the development of national guidelines for intensive care management. Professor Pinto's dedication to improving healthcare extends to her involvement in pediatric renal transplant programs. As the chief anesthetic and intensivist in the transplant team, she has played a pivotal role in advancing this critical medical service, particularly at the teaching hospital Peradeniya, where she has been involved in successfully conducting numerous pediatric renal transplants. Professor Vasanthi Pinto's extensive contribution to the field of anesthesiology, critical care, and emergency medicine have earned her respect and recognition both national and internationally. Her remarkable career exemplifies her commitment to medical education, research, and enhancing healthcare services in Sri Lanka. Madam, I thank you for accepting our invitation and being here today. I cordially invite Professor Pinto to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for that lovely introduction. Good evening. The chief guest tonight, Professor M.D. Lamavansha, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, Dr. Thilini Ratnayaka, the President of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Dr. Lucian Jayasuriya, the Founder President of the College, and Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama, the Founder Secretary of the College, all the past presidents, honored council members, Dr. Kaushal Varma, and other overseas members here, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me as the guest of honor for the inauguration of the 28th annual sessions of your esteemed college. I consider it's a privilege to address this august gathering that comprises eminent members of national and international repute of a highly recognized professional body that renders yeoman clinical services. During the last few years, the impact of the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic imposed censors on meeting physically in most activities. But now the doors are open for the college members to be more productive by teaming together and have engaged discussions to meet future challenges, particularly rendering services in a current resource-depleted scenario due to economic recession accentuated by the medical brain drain, with professionals leaving the country for greener pastures overseas. I've gone through the rich portfolio of your college, and I'm glad that your college continues to work with the relevant stakeholders in formulating national guidelines for the management of sexually transmitting diseases, improving access to healthcare, ensuring the availability of essential drugs while disseminating education, with prevention being the key at all stratas of societal level, and also encourage patients to seek clinical care as on voluntary access health services has been a social taboo with much stigma attached during times not long ago. Now, the public entertains a more enlightened view on this range of diseases with social inclusivity and empathy for patients affected by these diseases. In this context, the National STD and AIDS Control Program have achieved much success in reducing the disease burden due to the invaluable efforts of your college and the presidents who are here today. It's also welcoming to know that your college conducts the postgraduate diploma and MD via boards of study in Postgraduate Institute of Medicine and invites local, regional, and international experts for educational activities. I also appreciate the services rendered to educate people via media, particularly your focus on the vulnerable groups of our population to reduce the impact of these diseases with special reference to the younger generation and thereby mitigate the spread of the sexually transmitting diseases, which constitutes a formidable challenge to my knowledge. The continuation of your academic activities, despite the numerous challenges faced during the current adverse situations in the country, to uplift the knowledge and skills of the professionals in the field to assure quality care and STI patients and sexual health services, is exemplary, together with accolades for the support extended by the college to the Ministry of Health to improve the healthcare in the country. Also, I hail your collaborative efforts of engaging with strategic groups on multinational research, clinical trials, and knowledge and skills exchange, which is indeed greatly appreciated. But as a dean and as an academic, I feel my obligation is to focus more on undergraduate medical education related to your specialty. It is increasingly recognized that promoting and maintaining sexual health cannot be restricted to specialists alone. Indeed, data indicates that the majority of STIs are seen outside specialized services, with general practitioners playing a pivotal role. Hence, medical education on the subject at the undergraduate level to improve the early recognition of the disease and to ensure effective health interventions and referring them to specialized attention to get expert help will contribute bringing low rates of sexually transmitting diseases infections in the country. Little is known in the medical curriculum about sexual health medicine, and I think it is same as in Sri Lanka, everywhere else in the world. There is a wide variation in the topics taught and time allocated, which highlights the lack of guidelines for SHM training across medical schools. The total time allocated for sexual health medicine in medical schools may vary from 1 week to 2 weeks for clinical exposure. However, the didactic teaching hours may differ. The teaching needs to be of a more consistent standard. Also, overlap of sexual health medicine curriculum with other specialties potentially leads to an underestimate of relevant teaching. It should not be forgotten that, for example, the genital anatomy and physiology may have been covered by basic sciences as well as in obstetrics, gynecology, and urology, and thus there is a need to prevent overlap and focus more specifically on the topics and subject area to be covered with special reference to your specialty alone. Therefore, it should be sought to include quantitative and qualitative measures to existing SHM training at medical schools in the country. To what extent do the topics that are to be covered in the curriculum need your input is to be sorted out. I think as a college, you need to develop documents defining the basic levels of knowledge and skills to SHM for medical students aimed at all the medical schools across the country. It is also mandatory that the sexual health medicine courses has to be produce positively significant changes in skillful communications with patients on sexual health matters, and I hope you will address this area too. Also, in my academic and administrative dimensions, we have to handle youth. The health record facts shows the sexually transmitting diseases have been found in a number of Sri Lankan school children and university students, and this has alarmed us a lot. We are well aware and sure that the college has taken many measures to manage this unfortunate situation and prevent the rise in cases. I take this opportunity to wish your college well in continuing its excellent and exemplary services to our country and community. This forum will provide a platform to interactively share and exchange knowledge and expertise beyond borders and discuss the challenges and management of local regional issues relating to your specialty. With your golden theme, safeguarding the vulnerable within the practice of sexual health, I wish you all the success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. The chief guest for this evening is Professor M.D. Lamavansa, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. I would like to invite the President to introduce our distinguished chief guest. Over to you, Madam.
Professor M.D. Lamavansa is the current Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. He graduated with MBBS from the University of Ruhuna, Sri Lanka, and obtained a Master of Surgery from the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, University of Colombo. He had his professional training in general surgery in Sri Lanka and Western Australia, where he read for PhD at the University of Western Australia. He received further training in kidney transplantation in the UK at the Royal Free Hospital, London. He is a Fellow of the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka, the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh, an Honorary Fellow of the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow, an Honorary Fellow of the Association of Surgeons of India, and the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan. He is a past president of College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka and is the immediate past president of the SARC Surgical Care Society. The positions held by Professor Lamavansa include Head of the Department of Surgery, Founder Head Department of Nursing, and Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, all at the University of Peradeniya. Further, he was the Founder Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at Wayamba University of Sri Lanka. He spearheaded the establishment of Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences at the University of Peradeniya. Before assuming the current position as Vice Chancellor, he served as Sri Lankan Ambassador to Russia with accreditation to 5 neighboring countries. Professor Lamavansa is a consultant general surgeon with experience in vascular trauma and limb replantation. Pediatric kidney transplantation is his favorite fine specialty, and he established the first pediatric kidney transplant program in Sri Lanka at the Teaching Hospital Peradeniya. To date, more than 150 transplants have been performed. Professor Lamavansa possesses wide experience in working with Sri Lankan academy and regulatory bodies such as university senates and councils, the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, the University Grant Commission, the Sri Lanka Medical Council, and the Ministry of Health. He has contributed to postgraduate surgical education by being a trainer, examiner, and assessor. Professor Lamavansa has experience in accreditation of academic programs and higher education institutions in Sri Lanka and in enhancing the quality of clinical service and institutional management. He is also known for his high professional and personal integrity and has been honored by national and international surgical professional bodies. In his current position, Professor Lamavansa is successfully managing the university in one of the most difficult times in the recent history of Sri Lanka and making progress in all functions of the university with an impact on national and international recognition. I think I need to add a personal note here. I was really fortunate to be trained as an undergraduate pupil student and also as an intern house officer under you, sir, and Peradeniya. I witnessed your hardworking and surgical skills have saved many lives. As a committed teacher, you guided many successful doctors and surgeons. Not only me, there are many past pupils in this audience who are really proud to be your students. It's with great honor I invite Professor Lamawan sir to address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Tilani. Very good evening to all of you. Dr. Tilani Ratnayaka, the president of the college, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya, and the guest of honor this evening, and Professor Varma from AIMS, Delhi, and Professor Lucian Jayasuriya, sir, nice to see you. And also Dr. Abhay Vikrama, who is the founder secretary. I see Dr. Ari Ratna, who is the SLMA president in the audience. Dr. Priyantha Veerasinghe, the president-elect. Dr. Vidane Patirana, who is the director of the STD campaign and the past presidents. Dr. Dulipa, who is the secretary. Members of the college, overseas guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm personally, and also as the Vice Chancellor of the most comprehensive university in the country, truly honored to have been invited to the inauguration of the annual academic sessions of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. I know that your college has evolved as a prominent professional organization in medicine since its inception in 1995, and I have great confidence in its future under the capable leadership of Dr. Tilani Ratnayaka, whom I have known since from her student days. She was a serious student and studious, worried about her patients, and also worried about any reprimand that we nasty teachers could impose on her and the other staff, other students. I think at least one or two of them are here in the audience. You, Tilani, and your batch as a whole have done very well. For that, a very high number of your batchmates are medical specialists. And there are several now working in Kandy Peradeniya, including in my department. It is perhaps a random incident that during the medical exhibition that we had when you were students at the Faculty for the Public, you as a student organized the STD stall along with another female medical student and who is here. And at the end, you became a specialist in that field. You organized the stall for general public. Whether this was done deliberately or accidentally, I do not know. Sri Lankan professional medical colleges can take pride in their voluntary contribution to the progress of their profession and the development of healthcare in the country. We do it without any calculations being done, without any remuneration or cost recovery, but at personal and financial cost to ourselves. Many in the society do not understand what we do and why we do so. In one occasion, I was asked by a senior official in the Foreign Ministry when I was the Surgical Care Society president, that how we surgeons find funds to travel abroad to attend SARC Surgical Care Society activities several times a year. She was astonished when I said that we use our own personal funds to do so for the sake of the profession. Therefore, we must appreciate ourselves for that contribution we make to the betterment of the profession and the society at large. Today we gather to discuss the vital theme of safeguarding the vulnerable within the practice of sexual health. It is a naive idea for me to talk to this audience about SRH, but I wish to make a few remarks about this subject, especially related to the university students, the problem that youth are facing, which is a concern to the university administration, both to Vasanthi and myself, and also about the growing mental stress, self-harm and suicides among our young population, with special reference to university students. They are to a certain extent interlinked. Reproductive health has rightly been included in the United Nations Sustainable Goals. And we at the university consider this relevant to our work as well, as it caters to a large number of youth who need to be educated in many things, including sexual and reproductive health. The other relevance of the UNDPA statements comes from the university's commitment to work towards achieving sustainable development goals. This commitment was made at the beginning of the last year by University of Peradeniya. Our commitment so far has been well recognized at the international level, where the university is ranked in the 301 to 400 band of world universities related to the commitment of SDGs. It is not only in this ranking scale the University of Peradeniya is recognized internationally. In many of the recognized ranking scales, Peradeniya is among top 6 to 7% of world universities. In Sri Lanka, approximately 1/4 of the population comprises adolescents and youth aged between 10 to 24. This cohort is crucial for the country's future stability, both financially and politically. Therefore, investing in the health and well-being of our youth is imperative for a better tomorrow. However, national data reveals a pressing need to expand our efforts to educate our youth in sexual and reproductive health. Surveys have shown that a significant portion of Sri Lankan youth lacks awareness on common sexual and reproductive health issues. National Health Survey assessed some components of sexual and reproductive health knowledge and practice among youth as a whole, and as school-going and non-school-going categories. This was in 2012-13. This survey included more than 8,000 youth from all backgrounds of the country and demonstrated that nearly 50% of Sri Lankan youth are unaware of common SRH issues. The obvious recommendations are that there is a need to improve SRH knowledge among adolescents and youth. Both males and the females should be made aware of both types of reproductive systems, and innovative methodologies need to be identified to educate them and provide information, especially in our settings. And it is highlighted based on a subset of data that public health staff should work to improve SRH knowledge with life skill development among marginalized and vulnerable youth, which is the theme today. A study conducted by a team from Rajarata University among a nationally representative sample of first-year university students in Sri Lanka. This is coming to university. in 2018 indicate that the majority, that is 80%, did not receive adequate sexual and reproductive health education from school, while only 1/5 were adequately knowledgeable about contraceptive methods. Risky sexual behaviors are becoming an important problem all over the world. RSB is defined as behaviors leading to sexually transmitted diseases and unintended pregnancies. In another local study in 2018, Krishanta Besena and colleagues from Ragama, involving over 5,500 undergraduates of the Western province, which examined RSB and showed a RSB prevalence of 12.4%. This underscores the need to enhance sexual health education. To address some of these challenges, having identified the need, and the Faculty of Medicine under the leadership of Professor Vasanthi Pinto is helping a lot, the University of Peradeniya has taken proactive steps by incorporating an awareness program on sexual health as part of the orientation program for new students of all 9 faculties. And they are a vulnerable group. The support of consultants in sexual and reproductive health at the National Hospital Kandy is instrumental in this initiative. Although it is only peripheral to the theme today, you will be happy to note that the University of Peradeniya has taken many measures to curb sexual and gender-based violence, including punitive action. However, the trivial, the violence is against the perpetrators, especially lonely women, security guards, and students who are coming from periphery are vulnerable. Another vulnerable area that is concern to university administration right now is related to the mental health and suicide rates. Our nation is facing unprecedented challenges, and these have brought in new dimensions to our lives. Psychological effects, depression, self-harm, and suicides are on the rise. The youth are the most vulnerable. As of now, for every 100,000 population in Sri Lanka, 15 commit suicide annually. Most of these unfortunates are those who are between 15 to 45 years. In the first quarter of 2023 alone, Sri Lanka had 816 suicides reported. If this trend continues, we may witness an alarming figures by year end. In another national survey related to mental health, it has been found that 20% of youth complain of feeling sad or helplessness and had stopped their routine work for a while, and 6.4% had seriously thought about committing suicide during the preceding 12 months. Youth who are perceived that family is not good or intolerable had more suicidal feelings. Dr. Rajapaksa Tilni is here. I'm sure the Tilni will agree with me, or at least agree with this data. Disturbingly, this is not for public consumption, this data. This phenomenon has affected our universities with rising number of suicides among students. The University of Peradeniya, which represents all types of socio-economic backgrounds of this country, ethnic, religions, everything together, has seen 6 students committing suicide during the last 1.5 years. The high rate of suicides in the university system is a relatively new occurrence, and prevention is exceptionally challenging due to the absence of a single underlying cause. The measures that the Peradeniya has taken include establishing a separate unit under psychiatrists and psychologists named CAPSU, appointing 6 full-time professional counselors thanks to our alumni, establishing an intermediate care center for those who are discharged from hospital, and many other supportive recreational and welfare active measures. After establishing CAPSU, there were 1,160 visits during last 18 months to the counseling centers established in the university. And of them, the actual number of students are around 400 to date, but they made 1,160 visits. 44 had attempted suicides. Right now, there are 3 students who could commit suicide at any given time. 214 were, 4 were due to relationship issues, and the rest of the list, as you can see in this slide. Financial problem is not a major concern. While measures are being taken to reduce mental stress, self-harm, and suicides, we must also recognize the impact of undue publicity and sensationalization of such incidents in the media. Dr. Ariyaratna, I think the SLMA probably has a role to play in this. With the COVID-19 pandemic imposed isolation and the reliance on virtual interaction in every sphere of our lives, it is not surprising that social media has become the main platform through which human interactions occur today. While the resulting alienation, associated loneliness, and fear of missing out, FOMO, are detrimental to the well-being of individuals. I'm sure this plays a significant role among university students, especially during post-COVID period. One of the specific problems related to suicide prevention is that the media, including social media, by disseminating vivid and sensationalized accounts of incidents of suicides, may provoke others to follow, a phenomenon known as copycat suicides. The sudden increase in suicides and attempts among the youth, especially among university students, therefore raises the possibility of the contagion effects of suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to learn from our collective experiences and reflect on them. And they are the reasons why I brought to your kind attention some of the predicament and the problems that we, the university's system, go through. And as members of the medical profession, regardless of our specialities, we have a significant role to understand, they help to look after our own kids, and to play in addressing the educational needs of youth regarding reproductive and sexual health. And furthermore, we must fully grasp the magnitude of the problem of mental stress, self-harm, and suicides among our young population, and actively work to mitigate these issues. Finally, Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, and ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine for its remarkable achievements in its relatively short history. I have no doubt that this conference will be both enlightening and productive, and there are several international speakers, and I wish you all a successful and fruitful event. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite our President, Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, to introduce the Regional Chairman, IUSTI Asia Pacific.
Professor Kaushal Varma is a distinguished medical professional holding the position of Dean of Research and heading in the Department of Dermatology and Venereology at AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. He has been honored as an inspiring physician by the Royal College of Physicians in Edinburgh, UK. Professor Varma's notable achievements include serving as an advisor to the Government of India for Nepal and his past role as Dean of Examinations at AIIMS. He has an extensive research background with over 170 publications, 25 chapters, and numerous lectures. His prestigious awards include the Professor L.K. Bhutani Award and the Dermatology Excellence Award. Professor Varma is actively involved in medical leadership roles, serving as Vice Chair of the International Union Against Sexually Transmitted Infections, Asia Pacific region, and the Chairman of the Expert Group DVL at the Ministry of Health, Government of India. He is also a member of the International Contact Dermatitis Research Group. It's with great pleasure I invite Professor Varma to the podium. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ratnayake, for the kind words. So kind that they have been exactly brought to you as I send it to them, without any edits. Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Professor Lama Banse, Vice Chancellor, University of Peridania. Guest of honor, Professor Pinto, Dean of Faculty of Medicine, University of Peridania, Kane. Dr. Thalani Ratnayake, President, Sri Lankan College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. Dr. Julipa, Secretary of the College. Distinguished invited guests, faculty from the Sri Lanka and the overseas countries, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real honor and joy for us to be here. And I thank Dr. Ratnayake for having invited us to join the annual meeting of your college as a collaborative meeting between Sri Lankan College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine and ISTI Asia Pacific. On behalf of the ISTI Asia Pacific and my own, I welcome you all to this August function, the inaugural function, and also to the meeting. ISTI is one of the oldest scientific organizations, the medical organizations in the world. And recently, this year, we celebrated the 100 years of its existence. So you can imagine for how long this organization has been working in the field of STIs, sexual health, and later into the HIV medicine. Asia Pacific branch of the ISTI is also the biggest organization of the 6 regional branches that we have. Earlier there used to be 5 as per the WHO division of the regions, but now we have added the MENA region, which is Middle East and North Africa. But our number has not grown as much as it should have been. We are hosting the annual meetings every 2 years, which are the full ISTI Asia Pacific meetings, which are rotating from, say, one country to another one. And of late, we started organizing the symposias between the meetings in collaboration with the another national meetings And I'm happy that we are doing it in Sri Lanka for the second time. The last one we had just had, I think, just about a year or 2 years before COVID, probably 2017 or 18. And we are back so soon. It shows the kind of, say, the affection and the connect between the ISTI and also the Sri Lankan College of Sexual Health and Medicine. Scientific program of this meeting has been carefully drafted. As you can see, the theme is safeguarding the vulnerable within the practice of sexual health. So the all aspects of the STIs and the sexual health have been taken into consideration. And we have a dedicated symposium of the ISTI Asia Pacific where 16 lectures are there, which are giving a more global perspective about the diagnosis, treatment, control, and the prevention of STIs, including how the different countries are doing this and how differently they are managing and practicing. This is also an opportunity for the overseas faculty and, of course, for you also to interact, to exchange ideas, and also to look for the potential collaboration between the Sri Lankan College of Sexual Health and Medicine and also with the overseas faculty. And we would be particularly happy to establish the scientific collaboration between the Sri Lankan College and the ISTI. And also, since I am the Dean of Research at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, at the institutional level also, we have been doing collaboration with different universities of the globe, of the world, and also with the organization. So we would be happy even at the institutional level also to collaborate with your organization and maybe with the university if that possibility is there. We make a memorandum of understanding as to how we need to collaborate and what areas, and also the exchange programs between the students and, exchange program for the students and the faculty both. So, on behalf of the ISTI Asia Pacific, I once again welcome you all. And I'm sure that you will enjoy this academic feast and also the social functions very much. I wish the conference grand success. I'm sure that yes, the people will interact with each other and also we come out with new thoughts and new ideas. With this, I thank you all. In fact, I also had written down the speech for the function, but I forgot to bring it. Like a friend of mine who forgot the passport to bring it to the airport. So he had to delay the flight. But I could manage without delaying the flight and be with you on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine will now make the presidential address. Over to you, madam.
Our chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamawansa, guest of honor, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, our special invited guest, Professor Kaushal Varma, distinguished invitees from abroad, Founder President, Dr. Lushan Jayasuriya, Founder Secretary, Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama, past presidents, fellows of the college, members of the Council of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, members of the college, ladies and gentlemen. The theme of the 28th Annual Conference and my keynote address is Safeguarding the Vulnerable Within the Practice of Sexual Health. I think I would go to the 5. Is it? Okay. I would like to begin with the WHO definition for sexual and reproductive health, which is a state of physical, emotional, mental, and social well-being in relation to sexuality. It's not merely the absence of disease, dysfunction, and infirmity. Sexual health requires positive and respectful approach to sexuality and sexual relationships, possibility of having pleasurable and safe sexual experiences, free of coercions, discrimination, and violence. Sexual rights of all persons must be respected, protected, and fulfilled. Now, I would like to take your attention to the highlighted element of this definition. Free of coercion, discrimination, and violence. Can we actually assure that sexual experiences are always safe? Can this go wrong? Where can this go wrong? And who can be the victims? Who are the vulnerable? And these are few newspaper cuts that I have collected during the past few months. I don't know whether these are 100% accurate and how ethical this reporting is, but facts cannot be ignored. I'm sure most of you living in Sri Lanka, this is kind of routine content in the news. This statement from the UNICEF tells us how big is the problem. Sexual violence knows no boundaries. It occurs in every country across all parts of the society, so including children. So globally, 1 out of 10 females under the age of 12 have some kind of forced sexual experience during their life. The child population in Sri Lanka just over 6 million. And National Child Protection Authority, NCPA, is the main responsible body for the children's safety in Sri Lanka. Each year, NCPA receives close to 10,000 of complaints related to different types of child abuse and harassments, including child sexual abuse. And this is the official report released by NCPA in 2022. The highlighted ones are related to child sexual abuse, which count for a total of 1,107. All we see here is tip of the iceberg. There can be millions of cases go unreported. And as professionals in the sexual health or venereologists here, we see most dark side of the picture. And according to the UNAIDS, adolescents and young people represent a growing share of people living with HIV worldwide. In 2022, it was estimated 480,000 new HIV infections among young people between the age of 10 to 24. And we see a similar picture in Sri Lanka. Out of 607 new HIV diagnoses in last year, 73 were within 15 to 24 age group. So to give you a little bit more details, I will present some of the important findings from the situation analysis recently conducted by the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. This is on under 18 years attending to island-wide STD clinics from 1st of January to 31st of December. We got 44 STD clinics in Sri Lanka and 31 clinics participated, covering all 25 districts. And a total of 1,968 children under the age of 18 were included in the data analysis. Almost all the clinics provided services to children under the age of 18. Majority were females, and 66% were within the age group of 11 to 15 years with a median of 15. So why did they come? So very few came voluntarily, and 15.7% were referred by other medical professionals, while majority were referred to us by a judicial medical officer. 75% of the sample, which counted for 1,473 children, attended following a sexual assault or suspected sexual assault. And when we look at the age group, and there were children from 1 year old to 18 years have been victims of sexual assault. Majority belongs to the 14 to 16 year. And you might think this is biased by the legal age of consent for sex in Sri Lanka, which is 16 years. That could be, but it also indicates a significant number of children under the age of 16 years of age, school age, are sexually active. And majority of these assaulted children were females. And and 92% of the assaulted children had education level below GCSE O levels. So then, who was the assailant? 90% of the victims of sexual abuse children knew who was the perpetrator. 52% admitted that as boyfriends. There were parents, guardians, and very close relatives among the perpetrators. Almost all types of social categories of people that child could encounter during day-to-day life were there within the list of perpetrators. And this is the detail. And did we treat them? 10% of the sample were prescribed some kind of treatment, either for a confirmed sexually transmitted infection or any other genital condition that may not necessarily as STI. Here, we cannot ignore the fact that 101 children were treated for confirmed STIs, including genital herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, genital warts, and trichomoniasis. And majority of children were between the age of 16 to 18 years. 127 teenage females were reported to be pregnant at the time of they presented to the clinic. And this is 8% of the total females and higher than national figure for teenage pregnancy, which is 3.9% of all pregnancies in 2022. More than 10 teenage pregnancies were reported in Colombo, Kaluthara, Batticaloa, Mathura, and Candice STD clinics. And majority of these teenage pregnant females were within the age group of 15 to 16 years with a median age of 16 years. Lowest age reported to be pregnant was 12 years. 77% of the pregnant females reported that they had education up to grade 6 to 11 or lower than GCSE O levels. Whether the knowledge and skills gained through school age help our young people to protect themselves from STIs and unwanted pregnancies is of a question. I don't think I have to waste time to explain what are the adverse outcomes of child sexual abuse to this audience. It could be serious physical, psychological, social, and harm that can even end up with self-harm. Further, there are enough evidence that victims of child sexual assault can become perpetrators of child sexual abuse in future, making this a vicious cycle. A systematic review done by Hansen and Slater in 1988 revealed 34.6% of abuses of male victims and 18.2% of abuses of female victims themselves have been abusers. Harendra Silva et al. 1996 revealed about 11% of girls and 21% of boys admitted sexual abuse during childhood. So most incidents of this child sexual abuse were not sudden provocated incidents, but well planned by the perpetrators. Some children have been living with the perpetrator in the same household for years. During that period, these children have gone to school, have come to hospitals, and even our midwives have visited to their household. But often these service providers did not identify that these children were at risk, so missing the opportunities to prevent a child getting abused. There could be many reasons. Lack of awareness is one of the main, and could be simply the selfishness. It's not my problem until the victim is my son or daughter. Sometimes we identify the issue and go beyond the line to help, but system is not supporting, and people who take extra effort can end up with frustration. So there could be many other reasons. So if a child is at risk, the signs could be visible within the child, within the family, or immediate environment. Behavioral problems, mental illnesses can be other reasons that a child can be more vulnerable than a normal child. Lack of knowledge and assertive skills are contributing factors. Risk to the child can come from their family. Not having proper parental protection is the number one risk. Child may lose one or both parents due to unavoidable natural reasons. Parents can separate, divorce, leaving children under the protection of a single parent. Mothers going abroad for employment, particularly for non-skilled, low-skilled jobs in Middle East for a long time, is an identified risk factor for child sexual abuse in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, according to the Sri Lankan Foreign Employment Bureau, reported in 2022, more than 120,000 females left the country for employment. And out of that, 74,000 were for domestic housekeeping and 34,000 were for low-skilled jobs. These women bring a lot of foreign currency to the country, which is important to recover from this current economic crisis. Recently, there has been changes to government policies that allow more women to go for foreign employment. In 2015, according to the circular issued by the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, mothers with children less than 5 years were not given permission to migrate. But according to the new circular issued in February 2022, the restrictions are for mothers who got children 2 years or less, low. Maybe aiming for a bigger profit, but making more children vulnerable. Of course, if a mother is going abroad, it's her responsibility to make sure that her children are in safe hands. On the other hand, children should not be abused when their mother is away. But it's responsibility of the society to make sure that the children are safe until their mother comes back. And there could be more signs, and parents involving in dealing drugs and sex trade within the domestic environment. Extramarital partners of parents have been reported as perpetrators for child sexual abuse. Child grooming, establishing an emotional connection with a child under the age of consent and sometimes the child's family to lower the child's inhibition so they can manipulate, exploit, and abuse them. And child grooming can take place for a period of time and signs could be visible. It's not uncommon to have love affairs between two teenagers, but child having a relationship with an adult need to be of a concern. More than 5-year age gap is a sign of power imbalance within a relationship. And online child sexual exploitation. Creating or sharing sexual images or videos and sending or receiving text messages in sexualized nature, sometimes we call sexting, comes under online child sexual exploitation. All these are illegal, even if the person sharing is another child. The COVID pandemic has pushed the situation from bad to worst. It was reported by the IWF, International Watch Foundation, which is a UK-based organization that monitor online child sexual exploitation, reported that there have been huge increase of incidents during COVID pandemic lockdown in 2021. What's happening here? And again, there are evidence from Sri Lanka as well. In 2019, a survey conducted by the Ministry of Women and Child Affairs found 28% of the children have experienced some kind of online violence. most of the online violence to children was sexualized in nature. The danger comes from the dark web, cannot be ignored and still to be learned. Dark web operates in small friend-to-friend networks or in large popular networks. Perpetrators prefer dark web because identities and locations of darknet users stay anonymous and cannot be tracked. And in 2014, Gareth Owen from University of Portsmouth found that most common content of one of the popular dark web called Tor was child pornography. So parents spend a lot of money to get a smartphone to their children to do the distance learning, but most parents do not know how to set up a security software in it. Parent education on this matter is very important. So identifying early warning signs are important, so what are we going to do with them? So still, the crime has not happened or may not have not happened. So there's time and opportunity to act. So we can use this information to make public aware. And so we do this, but we need to continue to make public aware because people tend to forget. And parents and guardians should also be educated. And children will be the victims. Therefore, children need to be educated at the utmost importance. Department of Education has a big role here. Knowledge, assertive skills, age-appropriate sex education should be given a priority within the curriculum of both in school education and higher education. Vice-Chancellor, Professor Lamawan says, "Sir, I have a kind request here. Please consider including 1 or 2 questions on child safeguarding into final year exam paper, not only in the medical faculty, but also in other 8 faculties in University of Peradeniya. This could be very effective way of educating our young adults on safe sexual health. And management and rehabilitation of victims is also important to prevent them become abusers in future. So child safeguarding need to be incorporated into the routine practice. Screening for child sexual exploitation or CSE should be a routine practice at all possible service delivery points for children under 18, especially in health and education. This could be done by adding some specific CSE screening questions to routine consultation under 18. In every medical consultation, we need to exclude drug allergies. We ask about drug allergies from each and every patient of us. So not asking about allergies could even lead to medical negligence. In the same way, we can look for evidence of child sexual exploitation. Simply asking, do you live with someone other than your parent or guardian? Have you ever had a relationship with someone you met on the internet? So support from the Ministry of Health is essential to incorporate this child safeguarding into our routine practice. So we need to request a circular maybe. And Director NSACP, Madam, until we get this through the ministry, we can initiate practicing this within our sexual health system. Maybe adding few CSE questions to our routine consultation when there's a child under the age of 18. I'm sure with all this evidence, we will be able to prevent children getting sexually abused, maybe for the second time. Therefore, I will continue to do this request. What else can we do? Coordination between all stakeholders need to be strengthened. And genuine political commitment is essential because at the end, power and the leadership matters. And laws and policies should be strengthened and also need to fill the gaps. We do not have a sex offenders register maintained in Sri Lanka at national level. So how can you assure that your daughter's dancing coach or your grandson's preschool teacher is not another perpetrator of child abuse or pedophilia? So at all possible levels, all possible steps should be taken to prevent child sexual exploitation. So acknowledgement to this presentation goes to office bearers and the Council of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, National STD AIDS Control Program, and Child Safeguarding Program in Anuradhapura, Professor Harendra De Silva, Dr. K.M. Aryaratne, Dr. Shanmugan Muralidharan, and Mr. Tilanga Liyanage and Tulani Ratnayaka. So, with all cost, child sexual exploitation need to be prevented. So, at this point, I remember all my teachers from my primary education, including today's chief guest, Professor Lamavansha. And all teachers guided me through my postgraduate training in Sri Lanka. And my overseas supervisor, Professor Graham Taylor, all my friends, and everyone who supported me during this journey. Finally, I remember my family, my mother, the strength behind me, my husband Janaka and my sister, and my daughter Tulani, who always brings a smile into my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. This year, the Council has decided to award fellowships to 3 distinguished personalities who has contributed immensely for the development and enhancement in the field of embryology. Now, I would like to invite Dr. G. Veera Singha to read the citation for Dr. Jayanthi Alvitigala.
Madam President, past presidents, fellows and honorary fellows of the college, chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamavansa, guest of honor, Dr. Vasanthi Pinto, Professor Varma of IUSTI Asia Pacific, members of the council, members of the college, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor and pleasure to read the citation for Dr. Jayanthi Priyangani Alvitigala, an outstanding microbiologist of Sri Lanka who dedicated herself to the services of microbiology related to public health. On the occasion, her being elected an honorary fellow of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. Having started her primary education in Siembalandua, then a remote town in Ampara district, she completed her secondary education in Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo. Dr. Alvitigala graduated from University of Colombo with MBBS degree in 1991. After completing her internship in Teaching Hospital Colombo South, she served in General Hospital Ratnapura, Department of Physiology of Faculty of Medicine of University of Colombo prior to start her career in microbiology. Subsequently, she obtained MD in microbiology in 2001 and completed her overseas training in Barking, Havering and Redbridge NHS Trust in East London and in Public Health Laboratory of UK in Colindale. This combination of qualifications, blended with the experiences gained by her, laid the foundation for her deep interest in clinical microbiology, infectious diseases, and public health. Upon the return from UK in 2004, she was appointed as the first consultant clinical microbiologist of the National TB Reference Laboratory of National Program for Tuberculosis and Chest Diseases. Dr. Alvitigala, the enthusiastic and committed newly appointed microbiologist, pioneered the uplifting of standards of the National TB Reference Laboratory from the scratch to the status of biosafety level 3. She joined National STD AIDS Control Program in 2013. As many present tonight would testify, she has gone the extra mile as a microbiologist in establishing testing component of elimination of mother-to-child transmission of syphilis and HIV program in Sri Lanka. The testing facilities for drug resistance for HIV in National STD/AIDS Control Program, accreditation of the National Reference Laboratory of NSACP, National STD/AIDS Control Program, and development of the reference laboratory for molecular testing. In spite of her busy academic and public health workload, she continues to work as the honorary consultant microbiologist of Police Hospital, Colombo. There, she developed the laboratory setting for microbiology and improved the quality of diagnostic services to meet with the international standards. She has been the off-site consultant to many peripheral hospitals spanning the length and breadth of Sri Lanka at a time when there were no microbiologists available to serve in those. Dr. Alviti Galle is a qualified assessor for the conformity assessment of medical clinical testing laboratories with ISO 15189 standards. She is a member of Accreditation Committee of Sri Lanka Accreditation Board and has served in its technical committee from 2018 to 2021. Dr. Alviti Galle has been the secretary to Task Force of Microbiology of Ministry of Health, which is the key forum providing technical advice for development of microbiology services throughout the island. She has been an active member of the Advisory Committee for Antimicrobial Resistance 2017-2023 and in Advisory Committee for Tuberculosis from 2004 to 2013. Antimicrobial resistance has been a priority area for Dr. Alviti Galle. Back in 2004, she played the pioneering role in setting the initial momentum for Sri Lanka College of Microbiologists to get involved in combating antimicrobial resistance and worked hard to establish surveillance of antibiotic resistance in the country as a multi-centered program from 2009 to 2016. This enabled the country to have baseline figures and the trends of antimicrobial resistance, which paved the way for Sri Lanka to be spotted in World Antimicrobial Resistance Map. Further to that, she led the team of consultants for writing the first national strategic plan and the action plan for combating antimicrobial resistance in Sri Lanka from 2017 to 2022. Currently, she is serving as a member of the team in writing the national strategic plan for combating antimicrobial resistance in Sri Lanka for the period from 2013 to 2028. Dr. Alviti Galle is a teacher and an examiner of undergraduates and postgraduates for more than 20 years. Her contribution to medical undergraduate teaching was intensive in the period she served as an honorary lecturer to the Faculty of Medicine, University of Jawaharlal from 2005 to 2009. She is a member of the Board of Study in Microbiology and is the Vice President of the Sri Lanka College of Microbiologists for 2023-2024 period. Since 2013, to date, she continues as the leading consultant microbiologist of the National Reference Laboratory of the National STD/AIDS Control Program. Apart from the already said initiatives, she tackled on a daily basis complicated diagnostic issues related to sexually transmitted infections and HIV/AIDS at central as well as the peripheral clinics of the country. She is involved in teaching, training, and examining postgraduate students in venereology at different levels. She is a member of the Board of Study in Venereology. As a researcher, she has published many papers and has supervised a number of postgraduate dissertation and MPhils of students. She is a reviewer to the Sri Lanka Journal of Infectious Diseases as well. She has been an editor and contributor to many manuals and guidelines developed at national level. Hospital Infection Prevention and Control Manual, TB Laboratory Manual, HIV Care Management Guidelines, Sample Collection Manual for STIs and HIV, and Roadmap of Ending AIDS in Sri Lanka are few of those. Dr. Alviti Galle has worked as a short-term consultant in 2021 to provide technical assistance to assess the laboratory domain for elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis in Uzbekistan. She has provided technical assistance to National Program for Tuberculosis and Chest Diseases to assess the microscopic diagnostic services in the country in 2015. She has enhanced and developed her skills as a clinician, teacher, academic, and a researcher, and generously shared her expertise in these areas with her colleagues, peers, and students, and youth for the care and management of patients. Along the way, she has held positions of responsibility in institutions of Ministry of Health and other organizations, each of which she has changed for better with her far-sighted and visionary leadership. Her contribution to the field of microbiology in public health sector is unparalleled. Her dedication, integrity, courage, perseverance, positive attitude, and generosity are worth of recognition. Jayanti is married to Dr. Bandhujiva Piyasena, who is an orthopedic surgeon, and they are blessed with 3 children. Madam President, it is my great pleasure to present Dr. Jayanti Priyangani Alvitigala for the conferment of honorary fellowship of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. Dr. Jayanti Alvitigala.
Thank you, Madam. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Malati Pathiraja to read the citation for Dr. Chitran Hatrusinghe.
Good evening. Honored Madam President, esteemed former presidents, respected fellows of honorary fellows of the college, our esteemed chief guest, special guest of honor, esteemed council members, college members, distinguished invitees, dear ladies and gentlemen, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. Today, at 28th Annual Conference of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, we are honored to celebrate Dr. Chitran Hatrusinghe's incredible contribution to sexual health and HIV medicine in Sri Lanka. His work has made a lasting impact on our field, and we are immensely proud of his achievements. Dr. Hatrusinghe's educational journey began at Maliyadeva College in Kurunegala, shaping the foundation of his stellar career. Graduation with MBBS from Faculty of Medicine of University of Colombo in 1995, he embarked on a journey that would transform the landscape of sexual health and HIV care in Sri Lanka. He worked as MOIC at Respiratory Control Program in Kurunegala, followed by DMO at Mawatagama Hospital, MOIC at the STI Clinic in Kurunegala from 1998 to 2004. Notably, during his tenure, he took the initiative to launch and successfully completed the building within the hospital premises for Kurunegala STI Clinic. In 2014, he achieved the esteemed qualification of MD Venereology, marking a significant milestone in his career. However, it was his overseas training at distinguished Chelsea and Westminster Hospital and 56 Dean Street in London that expanded his horizon and fortified his expertise. Returning to Sri Lanka, he assumed roles as the first acting consultant in Kurunegala STI Clinic and initiated establishing a new STI clinic in Kuliyapitiya. His journey then led him to serve at STI Clinic in Kegon, thereafter at STI Clinic Kurunegala, where his visionary leadership sparked a transformative change. His instrumental role in modernizing the STI clinic in Kurunegala with the support and guidance of other esteemed senior consultants in the Board of Study in Venereology transformed it into PGIM accredited training center in 2022. Beyond this achievement, his legacy shines brightest in his unwavering commitment to HIV care, sexual health services, and health education programs spanning over 25 years. Dr. Hathuru Singha's dedication extends to strengthening school health program on HIV, STI, and sexual health, preventing child abuse through collaboration and pioneering age-compatible sexual health education programs in Kurunegala district. His research, dating back to 1998, has safeguarded the sexual health rights of external migrant workers and delved into critical areas such as vulnerabilities of female migrant workers for HIV, prevention of child abuse, and human rights issues in the people living with HIV and LGBTQ communities. Moreover, during the role as Charter President of Lions Club Kurunegala Welcome 100, he spearheaded numerous social services for people living with HIV. Dr. Hathuru Singha's presence as a visiting lecturer at Faculty of Medicine, Wayamba University, and his pivotal role in delivering lectures on sexual health at all faculties of Wayamba University have significantly contributed to raising awareness on sexual health and HIV among university students. Furthermore, being a dedicated trainer for medical students and postgraduate trainees in venereology and other related fields exemplifies its commitment to improving medical education in Sri Lanka. After serving as the treasurer of Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine in 2014, his remarkable journey led him to ascend to the prestigious role of president in the year of 2020 and 2021, which happened to be some of the toughest years in the recent past due to COVID-19 pandemic. Furthermore, his leadership saw the acquisition of dedicated and well-furnished office space at SLMA as the official college room and established the invaluable post of college assistant, which has played a pivotal role in college activities. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that we present the honorary fellowship of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine to Dr. Chitran Hathuru Singha today. His exemplary career, dedication to healthcare, and transformative contribution to this field have set a standard of excellence. Dr. Hathuru Singha, your remarkable journey and your tireless efforts in advancing the field of sexual health and HIV care has earned our deepest respect and gratitude. My heartfelt congratulations on this truly well-deserved honor. Thank you. Dr. Hathuru Singha, please.
Now, I invite Dr. Gaini Nanayakara to read the citation for Dr. Geethani Samaravira.
Madam President and the Council, members and honorary fellows of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, Chief Guest Professor M.D. Lamawansa, Guest of Honor Professor Vasanthi Pinto and Professor Kaushal Verma, and distinguished invitees. I have great pleasure in presenting Dr. Geethani Renuka Samaravira for the award of the Fellowship of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine for the year 2023. Geethani is the young, youngest daughter of Mr. E.S. Samaravira and Mrs. Anula Samaravira, cherished and blessed with 4 siblings. She is married to Dr. Ravindra Samaranayaka and a proud mother of 2 daughters, Amandi and Kavindi. Geethani completed her school education from Visakha Vidyalaya, Colombo, and graduated from the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo in 1999. While working as SHO surgery at General Hospital Kurunegala in 2003, she decided her career towards the field of venereology. She completed Diploma in Venereology in 2004 and MD Venereology in 2012 at the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, University of Colombo. After completion of her local training, Melbourne Sexual Health Centre in Australia provided the polishing and molding of her capabilities. Following overseas training, she was awarded her board certification as consultant venereologist and worked in STD Clinic Kegalle and Kalutara before moving to her current destination. She has served Sri Lanka for the last 23 years, out of that 20 years in the field of venereology. Currently, she works at National STD AIDS Control Program Colombo and bears the responsibilities as the National Coordinator for HIV Treatment and Care and Coordinator for Training and Capacity Building. Before assuming her current post in the national program, she worked as a National Coordinator for Multi-Sectoral Unit and HIV testing for nearly 2 years. Geethani has involved in several research studies and publications nationally and internationally. She had special interest in studying Mycoplasma genitalium and adenovirus urethritis in men who have sex with men. She has given her contribution to develop many national guidelines and publications in the field, including Antiretroviral Treatment Guideline, Opportunistic Infection Management Guideline, STI Management Guideline, National HIV Testing Guideline, EMT-CT Guideline, and many more. She is a trainer, supervisor, and examiner for postgraduate diploma and MD Venereology, and a member of the Board of Study in Venereology. She loves teaching and has been intimately involved in teaching medical undergraduates, postgraduates, and allied health sciences students. She considers teaching to be one of the primary responsibilities of a consultant and always admires the concept of teamwork. Moreover, her contribution for the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine is remarkable. 10 years as a council member and a commendable work as the immediate past president. My experience with Geethani runs back to many more years as trustworthy colleague, respected friend, and most of all, a caring neighbor. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of her sustained contribution to the specialty and the college, I am greatly privileged to present Dr. Geethani Renuka Samaravira for conferring esteemed fellowship of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine.
Thank you, Madam. I would like to request Dr. Geethani Samaravira and the President to remain on the stage for the next item in line, which is the awarding of the immediate past President for the year 2022. Now, I would like to invite the President to remain on stage to award the following medals. Dr. Lucian Jayasuriya and Mrs. Jayasuriya have been awarding a gold medal for the best performance at the postgraduate diploma in venereology examination since the year 2003. The recipient of the medal for the year 2023 is Dr. Nisansala Madapatha. Please extend a round of applause to Dr. Nisansala for her commendable achievement. The gold medal for the best performance at MD Vendriology examination has been awarded by Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama since year 2014. The recipient of the medal for the year 2022 is Dr. Sharmila Rajapaksha. Please extend a warm round of applause to Dr. Sharmila for her commendable achievement. Thank you, madam. Now, we are heading for a special moment. As a concept developed by Dr. Tilani Ratnayaka, the president of the college, with efforts of Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama, a booklet had been developed by Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, compiling the proceedings of the symposium on child sexual exploitation, which was held at Sri Lanka Medical Association Auditorium on July 2023. This booklet had been developed in keeping with the objective of advocacy on prevention of child sexual exploitation in Sri Lanka. Now, I invite our president to come forward to present this valuable booklet to Professor M.D. Lamavansa, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, Professor Kaushal Varma, Dr. Lushan Jayasuriya, Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama, Professor Harendra De Silva, DIG Renuka Jayasundara, Dr. Janaki Vidana Patirana, Dr. Dhammika Royal, and Dr. Vinya Aryaratna. Thank you, madam. Now, Dr. Dulipa Veerasiri, the secretary of the college, will propose the vote of thanks.
I think I take this opportunity to thank our secretary, Dr. Dulipa Vijayasiri. And this is the silent man behind all organizing all these activities and who took most of the weight. So thank you very much, Duleep, for all the support and assistance given to me, council, and the membership. And really appreciate that. Over to you, Duleep.
Thank you very much, Madam, for the nice appreciation. So, good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the Secretary of the College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine, I stand before you today with a deep sense of gratitude and honor as I propose the vote of thanks at the inauguration ceremony of the 28th Annual Conference 2023. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the eminent individuals who have graced us with their presence tonight. Our chief guest, Professor M.D. Lamavansha, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Guest of honor, Professor Vasanthi Pinto, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya. Professor Kaushal Verma, Regional Chair, IUSTI Asia Pacific. We are truly privileged to have you with us tonight. This year, we embark on a collaborative journey with the International Union Against Sexually Transmitted Infections Asia Pacific for the annual conference of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. I would like to extend our sincere thanks for your support and partnership. We really appreciate the commitment of our distinguished foreign delegates and other representatives from IUSTI who have traveled from various corners of the globe to be here with us. Professor Graham P. Taylor, Dr. Don Wilkinson, Dr. Mahesh Ratnayaka, Professor Christopher Fairley, Professor Sunil Sethi, Professor Eric Shaw, Professor Jane Tobne, Professor Wilhelmina Huston, Professor Yang Ho Ro, Professor Jane Hawking, and Associated Prof. Shibon Burke. Your presence has enriched this event. My heartfelt appreciation extends to all the speakers, both local and international, and the distinguished scholars and academics who will share their expertise during the academic sessions. Your contributions have been invaluable in making this event a reality. I extend my gratitude to the judges who generously agreed to extend their valuable contribution to the free paper session of the conference. Also, I am immensely thankful to those who took on the role of session chairperson as well. I would like to extend my gratitude to the dedicated examiners who were involved in conducting the mock exams for both diploma and MD embryology trainees. Professor Graham Taylor, Dr. Mahesh Ratnayaka, Dr. Nalaka Abegunasekara, Dr. Geethani Samaravira, Dr. Gayani Nanayakara, Dr. Upul Disanayaka, Dr. Janaka Gunaratna, and Dr. Deepa Amarasekara. I would like to thank all the contributors for the success of publishing the booklet, Prevention of Child Sexual Exploitation in Sri Lanka. Those are Sri Lanka College of Pediatricians, Sri Lanka College of Adolescent and Child Psychiatrists, College of Forensic Pathologists of Sri Lanka, College of Community Physicians of Sri Lanka, Children and Women's Bureau of Sri Lanka Police, National Child Protection Authority, and United Nations Children's Fund. A special mention and thanks are due to Dr. and Mrs. Lucian Jayasuriya and Dr. Iyanthi Abevikrama for their unwavering support of postgraduate trainees in radiology throughout these years. And my heartfelt thanks go to the Director of the National STD/AIDS Control Program, Dr. Janaki Vidana Patithirana, for her unwavering support and commitment to making this event a success. Ladies and gentlemen, an event of this magnitude does not come together overnight. It requires months of meticulous planning and dedicated effort. I am deeply grateful for the leadership of our President, Dr. Thilani Ratnayaka, who entrusted me with this responsibility, guided me, and provided unwavering support. I owe a debt of gratitude to the entire Council of 2023, whose enthusiasm, motivation, and dedication played a pivotal role in making this event possible. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Nalaka Abegunasekara, our Vice President, for his ready availability and expertise whenever needed. Your support has been invaluable. Dr. Ajit Karavita, the Editor-in-Chief, thank you for your exemplary leadership and guidance, both to the editorial board and to me personally. To my colleagues, you have been my pillars of strength, always by my side despite your heavy workloads. Dr. Shamila Rajapaksha, your diligent work as the treasurer and your trust in me with financial matters have been a tremendous support. And Dr. Chani Ratnayaka, Dr. Kumari Karunaratna, the assistant secretaries, have been unwavering in their support for me. A special thank goes to Dr. Geethani Samaravira, Dr. Nimali Jayasuriya for the support and allowing me to carry out college work despite the heavy workload in the clinic. And special thanks to the past secretaries, Dr. Sachini Mendis, Dr. Piyumi Pereira, Dr. Anuruddha Karunaratna, and Dr. Rahal Pranandu for their generous and active support. I must also acknowledge Dr. Hemanta Veerasinghe for her invaluable support and guidance. I was fortunate to be surrounded by a group of motivated junior colleagues who went above and beyond to support us in countless ways. Especially Dr. Nalaka Kulatunga, your involvement in making the conference proceedings and managing free papers this year was a tremendous relief. And Dr. Nishan, Dr. Lalantika, Dr. Irani, Dr. Dilanka, Dr. Vasanti, and Dr. Sidmi, thank you very much for helping us in many ways. And the Venerable registrars, Dr. Geet, Dr. Masna, Dr. Nadika, Dr. Tanuja, Dr. Niluka, Dr. Nisansala Madapata, Dr. Nisansala Premaratna, Dr. Praveen, Dr. Sarani, Dr. Nilu, and Dr. Malsha. Thank you very much for the great support you gave. I am in debt if I do not thank the diploma batch doctors, Dr. Dinusha, Dr. Yumal, Dr. Madhavi, Dr. Oshadi, Dr. Nisha, for assisting in the smooth functioning of the whole event. Your team spirit was a great support. A heartfelt thanks goes to Dr. Tarushi for accepting to compare this event and the conference. Also to Dr. Rashani, thank you very much for accepting to compare the fellowship dinner and the presidential induction. And dear Himasal, your unwavering commitment and support throughout the organizing activities were indispensable. Your dedication exceeded all expectations. I must extend my gratitude to all the staff members of the National STDH Control Program for their invaluable assistance. Events of this scale come to fruition with the support of our valued donors and sponsors. And my heartfelt thanks goes to our diamond sponsors, Gilead Sciences Grant, platinum sponsor, Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria, GFATM, and our gold sponsors, Ministry of Health, United Nations Population Fund, and Demo Healthcare, also the silver sponsor, Inventia Healthcare. There were many bronze sponsors and all other valuable sponsors who gave their support for this event. And I would like to express my deep appreciation to the management and staff of the Golfest Hotel Colombo for their exceptional support. And special mention should go to Mr. Shamal Hevage and the team, who went above and beyond his role to make this event a reality. And Mr. Dinesh, for our college photographer. To my family, I extend my heartfelt thanks for their patience, understanding, and unwavering support throughout this journey. Lastly, but most importantly, I want to express my gratitude to all of you, our distinguished guests and participants, who have graced us with your presence. It is your collective presence that has made this event truly meaningful and fruitful. If I inadvertently missed mentioning anyone who extended their support, I offer my sincere apologies. Please understand that your contributions are deeply appreciated. Once again, thank you all for being part of this memorable evening, and I wish you a pleasant night ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Duleepa. With that gratitude being expressed, we now come to the end of our ceremonial program for this evening. I would like to make a kind request from the distinguished guests at the head table to take their seats in the audience to enjoy our next event. More in details to what we are going to witness, the first performance will be Saraswati Abhivandana, a solo traditional South Indian classical dance by Chatuni Navana, followed by a puja dance from the dancing troupe of the University of Visual and Performing Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring a glorious ending to this spectacular evening, please put your hands together and enjoy their performances.
जगन मोहिनी मधुर भाषिनी चारु देहिनी कमल वासिनी सरस्वती देवी वंदे सरस्वती देवी कंपित कंचन माला कोचित किंकिनी नूपुर जाला कंपित कंचन माला कोचित किंकिनी नूपुर जाला पाद सरोजे कटी तटाके पाद सरोजे कटी तटाके चंचल नर्तन लीला चंचल नर्तन लीला मकर पंकज रूपाकुल अंकिक कुमकुम रेखा नील मकर पंकज रूपाकुल अंकिक कुमकुम रेखा पूर्ण कुंभ मिव पीन पयोदर पूर्ण कुंभ मिव पीन पयोदर पूरितामृतधारा पूरितामृतधारा पुण्यमूर्तिधर सुरकुल वर अभिरूपा भाग्य साधन पुण्यमूर्तिधर सुरकुल वर अभिरूपा देहि देहि
භගවතෝ මුනිරාජ සරණං ගත කුන්ද කෘත කුන්ද ජන කුන්ද වර්ණං අද කමල මුදුනතින් මුනි වන්දමානං කිත ජෙහු ශ්‍රී පද්ම වන්දාමි සතතං
සුධර්මානම් ගඳබ දෙව්පුත් එන විලාසය අසනු දැන් ගෞතුනක් දිග සර්වනන්දය මහබෙරය නද කරවමින් සුසැට දහසක් ගඳබ දෙව්පුත් වයති බෙරගුමු ගුමුනදින් සත්සියක් සුර නළුවෝ වැයුවා සත්සුරිඳු තුටු කරවමින් නානවිලේ ගාස්නාව යක් තිබුණා නානවිලේ ගාස්වල අතු බෙදුනා නානවිලේ ගාස්වල මල් පිපුනා නානවිලේ මාල්මුනි දුට පිදුවා ඉන්දිකටු ඇමිනිලා සකිනුම දන්නවද ගොයි රජුනේ බොරලු පෙරලිලා සකිනුම දන්නවද රැනමලේ පැටියනන්නේ මොන්නටද බොල මොණ්ඩි කුරටයි යඳානේ එකාති පව් පැටිට බොල එකාති පව් පැටිට තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ බොල තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ බොල තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ පැටියනන්නේ මොන්නටද බොල කොන්නල බොක්කිට අඬානේ එකාති පව් පැටිට බොල එකාති පව් පැටිට තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ බොල තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ බොල තෙන්තෙ දිනානේ තෙදිනානේ Tamdana tane natana tane tamdana tana tana tamdana tane natana tane tamdana tana tana tamdana tane natana tane tamdana tana 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 tamdana tamdana na na tamdana na tana tana tamdana tamdana na na tamdana na
Thank you for the orchestral performance. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we conclude the inauguration ceremony of 28th Annual Conference of the Sri Lanka College of Sexual Health and HIV Medicine. The ceremonial procession will leave the hall now. Please stand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence here today, and we do hope you will have a few productive and fulfilling days ahead at our sessions. We warmly invite all of you to join us at the cocktail reception now. Thank you and have a nice evening.